Our first quote takes us back to the early days of his ministry. The highest point of virtue, then, is this: to become God's co-worker, to receive from him the beginning of one's condition, and to bring it to a good end. Fast forward a bit, and we find Chrysostom pondering on the nature of virtue and sin. As a wound, if neglected, becomes worse and more painful, so too sin, if not confessed, will bring forth death. His evolving thoughts then led him to make this profound declaration: we fight not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, and therefore our weaponry must be divine. As he aged, Chrysostom's reflections became even more profound. The bee is more honored than other animals, not because she labors, but because she labors for others. And then, a powerful commentary on the nature of life and death: it is impossible for those who learn not in this world to do so in the next. Chrysostom's wisdom continued to deepen, as evidenced by his next quote: the waters of the sea are beneficial only when they ascend as vapor and return as rain. His reflections on human nature are particularly striking. He who is not angry, whereas he has cause to be, sins, for unreasonable patience is the hotbed of many vices. It fosters negligence, and incites not only the wicked but the good to do wrong. Chrysostom's wisdom was not confined to spiritual matters, as this next quote shows. Poverty is not a disgrace, but it is disgraceful to not overcome it. His thoughts on the human soul are equally profound. The soul should be provided with far more ample, more splendid, and more magnificent lodgings than the body. Chrysostom's teachings often centered on the concept of charity. The rich exist for the sake of the poor exist for the salvation of the rich. His wisdom was also pragmatic. No one can harm the man who does not injure himself. Lastly, Chrysostom reminds us to maintain a heavenly perspective. This present life is not the end of our existence. The signs that foretell the end and the coming of the Son of God are already beginning. From his early teachings to his later reflections, Saint John Chrysostom's wisdom has touched on many aspects of life, faith, virtue, and human nature. His teachings remind us of the importance of virtue, the nature of sin, the value of charity, the power of patience, and the eternal perspective we should maintain. His words continue to resonate, providing guidance and inspiration for all who take the time to reflect upon them. So, as we traverse through our own life's journey, may we too strive to become God's co-worker and bring our condition to a good end, as Saint John Chrysostom so eloquently put it.